Welcome to Subramani. I'm not a big fan of this age-based asset allocation. Why am I saying this? Well, I got a question from somebody saying, I'll read out the question as it is. I want to know your take on the age in bonds rule of asset allocation. It seems to me that it is out of date, and today a higher stock and share allocations are called for. So this person wants to know what is my feedback on this theory that you should have your money in your age in bonds. So a 30-year-old should have 30% in bonds, and a 70-year-old should have 70% in bonds. I have no clue what they'll tell my friend's father who lived till the age of 108. How much should have he had in bonds? I have no clue. So first of all, I'm not a big fan of this age-based asset allocation, because age is one of the factors. In fact, I remember walking into a class and saying, I have two clients who are 75 years of age. How much do you think they should be having in equity and how much in debt? So somebody got up and said, yes, of course they should have 75% in bonds and 25% in equity. I said, well, to the best of my knowledge, both these people have about 95% or some thereabouts in equity. So the whole class was aghast, and they said, oh, this is not possible. I mean, it's too risky. And I said the names are Mr. Ratan Tata and Mr. Premji, Azim Premji. So then they realized that what I meant was age is not the only factor that you should consider. For example, 56-year-old trying to set up money for his father's medical treatment, his own retirement, his daughter's education and daughter's marriage, right? All those and looking forward to retirement, perhaps maybe that year itself. That man has got lesser risk-taking ability than my 86-year-old mother, when all the money that she needs is already lying in her savings bank account. For the rest of her life, the money that she needs could be lying today in her savings bank account, right? So that the chances of her going to zero with that kind of a portfolio of being 90% in equity is close to zero. You also realize that for some 85-year-olds and 86-year-olds, you are already investing for the heirs and not really for the person themselves, because their own requirements may not be much. Take my mother's case. Maybe her annual expenses are 5 lakhs. Maybe live another 10 years. She's 86 completed, so maybe she'll live till 96. So 10 years. 10 years into 5 lakhs is 50 lakhs, right? So if she has 50 lakhs in bank deposit, right, you don't have to worry too much about inflation. So let's build that also in. Let's say she has 70 lakhs in her bank account, say maybe savings bank account. That's good. She can't run to zero. She will have her dividend income, etc., etc. I'm not even talking about that, but right now she is fully provided for. So obviously in the other part of her portfolio, she can take as much risk as she wants, because like I said, you're perhaps investing for the heirs and not really for the person themselves, right? So you realize that many factors like age, total amount of money that you have, the ability to understand the markets in which you are investing, the willingness to learn, the willingness to meet people who are running PMS, right? All those things determine how much of a risk taker you are and how much you understand, how much you enjoy doing it. So for a person who is good at equity investing, he is not going to consider being in equity as risky. For my mother, being in equity is not a risk at all. Her dividend income should take care of her expenses. So I mean, it is easy to say as a person gets older, the person's ability to take a risk goes down. Theoretically, it is true, but fairly obvious that a 25-year-old who is married to another 26-year-old, ability to take risk is very low, because if something goes wrong, if one income stops or any of those things happen, then it will be difficult to cope. But by the time a person reaches 40, and has lived frugally, he has enough money in his portfolio to say, okay, even if I lose my job for 6 months or 1 year or whatever, I can live off my portfolio, right? So that has increased the confidence. So this 23-year-old or a 27-year-old who was not confident about having enough money, who had to keep a reasonable reserve just in case my parents come and ask me for money, I should have it, kind of a stuff. So, but at 40, that person's ability to take a risk has increased, and for somebody like me, I'm 60 plus, the ability to take risk comes from the fact that I know there is a fallback option of my portfolio. So at each stage, how much money you have, what are the other things you are doing. For example, if you are a man who is doing maybe F&O trades or maybe trades for small investors, but your wife is working in IIT and she is a professor, then it's fairly obvious that she's got a tenured, and she's a tenured professor for the next I mean till her age of 68, 70, she's not going to retire from there. So that asset allocation for that family could be very different. So don't get carried away when I say asset allocation is not dependent on age. I'm saying it is not only dependent on age. You have to look at other factors also. For example, where how comfortable you are with equities, dividends, etc. Maybe all your money could be in equities and you could be living a nice life knowing that a big cushion is being created just in case something goes wrong, right? Thank you.